收获的满足感。
For Professor Rafi, this moment marks a dream come true. On December 4th, 2023, at 12:10 p.m., the MISASat-2 satellite, developed over 4 years, was successfully launched from the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center. This represents another landmark achievement in China-Egypt cooperation. It's also a milestone for Egypt, the first African country with full satellite assembly, integration, and testing capabilities. Today, as China steadily advances toward becoming a space power, it warmly invites institutions and scientists from developing countries, including those in Africa, to join in space research, collaboratively cultivate cutting-edge talent, and work together on projects that will shape the future of humanity. Together, they explore boundless hopes for a brighter future within the infinite possibilities of the cosmos. At 6 a.m., while the tranquil town of Carnarvon is still waiting for the morning light, engineers from China and South Africa are already preparing to set out. Their destination is a desert area more than 100 kilometers from the town.
我叫张磊，来自中国电科54所，我们单位呢在河北省的石家庄，然后我们这个团队呢就是在南非呢就是负责承建 SKA 天线。
The town of Carnarvon is located in the central Karoo Basin of northern Cape Province, South Africa. 20 years ago, this place was virtually unknown. Today, however, this once quiet town has become a hub for scientists and engineers from around the world, all drawn here by a groundbreaking scientific project. The SKA, or Square Kilometre Array, is a radio telescope with a total receiving area of 1 square kilometre. It is the largest aperture synthesis radio telescope ever constructed by humanity. This is the Meerkat radio telescope, which consists of 64 antennas. It is one of the precursor missions to the SKA. South Africa, selected as the site for the SKA, provides both the land and infrastructure needed for its construction. After 5 years of extensive preparation, in 2015, the China Electronics Technology Group Corporation's Network Communication Research Institute emerged victorious in the design competition for the SKA's mid-frequency antennas. Capturing radio waves from the universe requires extremely precise equipment.
从13年到现在，这都已经11年的时间了，我们还在改进呢，还在做验证呢。所以说，你看，就说明这个的要求是世界上独一无二的，是前所未有的难度跟挑战。
The successful development of the SKA antenna represents a significant contribution to world science. China is forging ahead in the development of cutting-edge antennae for the good of all.
The SKA telescopes is to give us a brand new step increase in our ability to see the universe and see things that they've never been able to see before, and possibly understand a little bit better of how we fit and how everything comes together. And that's going to be a very powerful legacy for generations to come.
As scientists gaze at the stars and reach for the edges of the universe, the spirit of science is revitalizing this once neglected town of Carnarvon.
And the game starts in 3, 2, 1, let's go!
The Robotics Schools program, a unique initiative launched by the South African Radio Astronomy Observatory, aims to develop and inspire an interest in STEM skills in the schools around the development of the Square Kilometre Array.
The reason that I joined the robotics is because that I want to become an engineer.
My dreams are to be an astronomer. So I like watching the stars and discovering more about planets and other stuff.
I'm looking forward to welcome the next engineer. I'm looking forward to have an astronomer. Give them opportunities and make them to realize that nothing is ending in Carnarvon.
Dreams are the preserve of those who never stop looking up at the stars, even if their feet are firmly on the ground and caked in mud. Through all the storms and challenges, China and Africa have consistently stood by each other. They support one another in times of crisis and collaborate for mutual benefit in development. They achieve shared prosperity through exchanges and mutual learning between their civilizations. They are friends, partners, and brothers. Bosom friends make distance disappear. China and Africa are joining hands to advance modernization, create a better future for their people, nurture new hope for the world, and set a strong example in building a community with a shared future for all humanity.
Akinola Oluno.
it is considered that we have a so-called disability, we really are able persons with different abilities.
For society and development to be included of persons with disabilities, we need to have equal access to education and to knowledge and information. Yet, out of millions of publications each year, fewer than 5% are made available in accessible formats for visually impaired persons. In developing countries, an even smaller percentage of publications are available in accessible formats. The Marrakesh Treaty, as it is called, will greatly expand the availability of artistic and literary works in accessible forms, such as Braille, large print text, and audiobooks. This can make a real difference in the lives of the world's more than 300 million visually impaired persons.
At the end of the day, we must come together and make however and where we are in the world be a place of unification, because me being blind visually doesn't mean that I have to be blind spiritually. And someone being sighted doesn't mean that they should be blind of those things in the world that we need to fix. We have to have inclusion.
Let us not become handicapped again, blind to the issues and the problems of those in need.
China and Africa, advancing together and planting the seeds of their dreams in the vibrant and hopeful landscape of the 21st century, nurturing these seeds with friendship and cultivating them with sincere dedication, setting an example of cooperative partnership grounded in a shared destiny. These are seeds that are bound to grow and bear fruit. Under the same starry sky, and with a vision for the future of all humanity, the people of China and Africa are expanding their horizons and extending their reach, moving forward together toward a future brimming with boundless hope. This is Inkoa Stelgen, an international student from the Republic of the Congo at the University of Jinan. Today's the big day, the day of his PhD dissertation defense.
除了结婚之外的另外一个大任务，所以现在我的心情就很复杂。
Inkoa Stelgen was born in a mountainous village in the northern region of the Republic of the Congo. In 2012, his alma mater, Marien Ngawabi University, partnered with the University of Jinan to establish a Confucius Institute. Inkoa Stelgen enrolled as one of the institute's first students. 3 years later, he began an 8-year journey as an international student in the University of Jinan.
下面我们就搬运曹格，对这个50页的这个答辩。
各位老师、各位同学，大家下午好，我是来自刚果部的曹格。然后接下来我可能要用英语开始讲我的 PPT。我还记得我上小学的时候，我天天打仗，就是跟同学，然后他们为了调笑我，他们也可以模仿我走路的那个样子，对。然后我一看了，我就跟你拼命了。我知道我跟别人长得不一样嘛，只有学习这一条路。
But at the University of Jinan, Inkua Stelgan didn't just focus on learning Chinese, he chose a more challenging path.
非洲有很多水，但是都是没有把这个水处理好的技术，所以来中国的目的也是把处理水的过程中学好，然后将来回国，哪怕是去别的国家，我就要是给老百姓服务，也给他们一个美好的生活吧。这喝的大家喝干净的水，就不用生病。
答辩委员会经过评议及无记名投票表决，一致同意通过曹格博士学位论文答辩，建议授予公学博士学位。非常感谢。
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Having risen to the challenges he has set himself, Inkua Stelgan is now heading toward a bright future. Inkua Stelgan's hometown has also undergone significant changes in recent years. Sino-Congolese cooperation projects like the National Road No. 1, the China-Congo Friendship Hospital, the Kintala Sports Complex, and the Confucius Institute at Marian Ngoabi University, Inkua Stelgan's alma mater, have transformed many lives. This summer, to celebrate his graduation, Inkua Stelgan embarked on a trip. He chose to visit a place he'd long dreamt of visiting.
朋友们，下午好。下午好。听说过刚果共和国吗？非洲。
听说过。
哦，我作为一个大学生，给小朋友介绍一下我们的刚果，好不好？好。OK。2010年，这里曾发生过可怕的大地震。那时候，我的国家没有袖手旁观，刚果和中国就是我两个家。遇到困难时，两个家互相帮助，互相支持。生活在两个家的我，真好啊！
After the 2010 Yushu earthquake in Qinghai province, the Republic of the Congo donated 16 million yuan to build the Sino-Congolese Friendship Primary on the roof of the world, despite their own limited financial resources. A gesture of warmth, opening a new chapter in the history of China-Congo friendship.
Bonjour Congo.
Bonjour Congo.
Bonjour la Chine.
Bonjour la Chine.
你在哪里的粉？在这所学校，我最好的朋友是图当公宝，他带我去食堂吃他最喜欢吃的炒土豆，还带我去他的宿舍看他整齐的床铺，还带我去他的圣地，一个神秘壮观的足球场，还带我去他的家。所以这里边都是猪粪。吃饭，宿舍里对不对？我让他用相机随便拍一些什么送给我，我会一辈子记住他。
就是这样399的摩托，499的小汽车，那是我们的山绳，我的篮板，刚果布。
One is an African university student from the heart of the Congo Basin, and the other is a primary school student living on the Qinghai Xizang Plateau. Despite their vastly different backgrounds and the distance between their homelands, they formed an extraordinary friendship. Standing together to overcome difficulties, this is the friendship between nations, between China and Africa, reflected in individual lives and illuminating a future full of possibilities. Tsavo National Park in Kenya is home to nearly all of Africa's animal species. With its unspoiled culture and diverse wildlife, this captivating land draws countless visitors from around the world. But there's a problem. The hotels within the park have long struggled with power shortages.
And we used to do generator power for just a few hours. So by 10 in the night, we have to switch off the generator. The guests were really inconvenienced. They couldn't charge their phones. They couldn't use the fans in the room. So if it is hot, it is hot.
Fortunately, China-Kenya cooperation is supplying the solution to this and a host of other issues. Now that Kenya has started actively promoting the development of clean energy, solar panels are going up everywhere. The result is a steady supply of electricity pulsing into remote areas, much to the relief of Victor O. Yang and his guests. With a shared vision for the future of all humanity, China and Africa have chosen to join hands on the path of green development. Whether it's howling winds, scorching sun, or ever-flowing rivers, these natural energy resources are being harnessed in China-Africa green energy cooperation projects. The result, clean energy flowing continuously across this beautiful land, lighting up lives and the way to the future. In 2018, in the heart of Morocco, the city of Ouarzazate, known as the Gateway to the Sahara, saw the completion and launch of the world's largest solar thermal power plant, a joint project between China and Morocco. This plant now meets the electricity needs of over 1 million Moroccan households and can even export surplus power to Europe. With this transformation from an electricity importer to an exporter, Morocco, in partnership with China, has strengthened its commitment to developing the renewable energy sector. Omar Hassani, now 37 years old, joined a Chinese new energy company 3 months ago. Today is the day of his evaluation, marking the end of his probation period.
We will invite you to present what you did during your probation period with a PPT, and then we will ask you a few questions.
Actually, I was recruited as a quality manager. For my education background, I studied a bachelor degree in aeronautic engineering at Beijing University of Aeronautic and Astronautic, Beihang University.
Success. Omar Hassani has got through his evaluation, a full member of the team at last. The Chinese company he chose, BTR, is Morocco's first new energy company, and it produces lithium-ion battery anode and cathode materials. With years of experience in the automotive industry, Omar believes that electric vehicles hold the key to the future of Morocco's automotive sector. China's leading new energy industry is actively seeking broader development opportunities.
我们到摩洛哥投资的这个工厂应该是我们第5代，所以我们是带来最新的技术，不光是我们自己过来，还顺便会带来我们上下游的配套的供应商、合作伙伴，对摩洛哥汽车产业是一个非常好的补充。
But it's not just a big day for Omar Hassani. Thousands of miles away at the BTR factory in Jiangsu province, China, another important test is underway.
这是扣着电池的循环， 应该是提升了接近3个点。
Yannick, the project leader for the Morocco initiative, is overseeing his team as they test the performance of battery materials.
真正在摩洛哥量产的时候，我们一个是要稳定住现有的状态，另外在新一代产品，我们在这个基础上再进一步的再提升一个层次。
This modern production line will soon be fully established in the Tangier tech city in Morocco.
We will start another.
As a major milestone in the high-quality China-Morocco Belt and Road Initiative, Tangier Tech City has drawn numerous Chinese new energy companies. These companies will introduce world-leading industry chains and clusters in fields such as renewable energy and electric vehicle batteries, helping Morocco build a modern green future and advancing global efforts in sustainable, low-carbon development.
I love the poetry of it, you know, the green mountains, the lucid waters,
right.
Silver and gold. China's action at home is really important. China's action abroad in this matter is very important. I've referenced renewable energy. It's remarkable that China has made these commitments and is exceeding the commitments on renewable already now.
Ethiopia, situated on the East African plateau at an average altitude of nearly 3,000 meters, is often referred to as the roof of Africa. Southwest of the capital, Addis Ababa, is an export processing industrial park invested in by a Chinese company, which is primarily focused on footwear manufacturing. At 55, Teka Entehabu is a regular visitor to this industrial park. As the former Minister of State at Ethiopia's Ministry of Trade and Industry, he frequently visits industrial parks to assess production conditions. Teka understands that for Ethiopia to thrive, manufacturing must be prioritized.
Our objective, or the policy objective, was to $1 billion export from the textile and garment. But unfortunately, we could not meet the intended result. So I tried to link also the experience of China with our challenges.
In search of solutions to the country's developmental challenges, 3 years ago, Teka Entehabu went to Peking University's Institute of South-South Cooperation and Development to study for his PhD.
This is our flag. You know, this is the Ethiopian flag. Yeah.
Founded in April 2016, the Institute of South-South Cooperation and Development is dedicated to sharing governance experience between China and developing countries, with the goal of cultivating high-level government management talent across the developing world. The Institute represents a shift in China's cooperation with South-South countries, moving from financial and infrastructural support to the exchange of development wisdom and ideas, thereby enhancing contributions to global South-South cooperation efforts.
We cannot directly copy the China development model, but we can learn more and we can try to take some lessons, experiences, and we can apply to our country based on the situation, the environment we have in our countries.
Wang Yong, the academic deputy dean at Peking University, is also Teka Entehabu's PhD advisor.
Teka 的话，他原来当过这工业贸易部的这个国部长嘛，所以他对于贸易、对于产业一直是关注的。所以他们是带着问题来，但他是带着国际的比较来的。
To understand China's experience, one must return to the starting point of its development. Before returning to Ethiopia, Teka Entehabu visited Xinjiang. Xinjiang is the birthplace of the Xinjiang experience, a key success story from China's reform and opening up. Teka Entehabu hopes to find answers here for Ethiopia's development. In the past more than 40 years, Chendai town in Xinjiang has seen the emergence of over 7,000 shoe companies and supporting businesses. one company miraculously grew from a small family workshop into a billion-dollar publicly listed enterprise.
It's possible for the textile and garment, you know.
Yeah.
Is
So
that
this is very
picture?
initial. Initial picture.
That's 1982?
Yes, it's 1982.
Okay.
So this is not easy.
Yeah,
so
I know.
it's a magic
I know.
for we
It
were
is.
so proud. Why it's called the Xinjiang experience? Just because a small business, how they can doing their initiatives to create their own advantage and make a success. And then a lot of business can work together to build this local regional economy to become a stronger one. And with the support from the government. Yes.
Interesting.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Zhejiang experience, yeah. So this is a big lesson for us also. We need to work closely with the enterprise to fulfill the common vision, to bring the development of the country.
This summer, 35 students from 19 countries will graduate from the Institute of South-South Cooperation and Development. Over its 8 years, the Institute has trained over 400 high-caliber individuals for the governments of more than 70 developing countries, providing vital intellectual support for the modernization of their national governance systems and capacities.
I'm so keen, to bring some changes in my country. I need to make some differences in my country development. That's the motive of every student in the South-South Corporation.
In 40 years, China went from being very poor to being a very, very successful, dynamic economy. So I think China has a very big role to play as showing the path of how to achieve rapid development.
South-South Cooperation is a remarkable initiative that promotes collective self-reliance among developing countries. As a leading member of the Global South and the largest developing nation, China remains dedicated to its mission of collaborating with other developing countries. This dedication is why China-Africa cooperation not only endures as a lasting friendship, but also serves as a model for South-South collaboration. With high aspirations, China-Africa cooperation looks to the future, aiming for new heights and endless possibilities.
热带气旋肯尼斯25号登陆莫桑比克北部地区。
In March 2019, tropical cyclones ravaged Africa. Mozambique, among other countries, was especially badly affected, suffering severe flooding. 2 years later, in August 2021, Algeria faced devastating forest fires, resulting in major casualties. But bad as these events were, they could have been much worse were it not for China's meteorological and communication satellites orbiting the Earth. These provided timely and precise disaster warnings and information services to the affected countries, helping rescue teams save countless lives. Additionally, the deepening of China-Africa space technology cooperation has rekindled dreams that once seemed out of reach. On June 13, 2023, at Egypt's Space City in New Cairo, Professor Rafi, who is over 70 years old, is awaiting the result of the electrical performance test for the MisaSat-2 flight model.
Of course, Egypt has a dream related to space projects or space activities.
Professor Rafi is an expert in theoretical research and equipment testing in Egypt's space sector. Throughout his 40-year career, he's lamented the absence of a fully independently developed satellite by the Egyptian Space Agency.
Our main dream is to make our own satellite, to develop our own satellite from A to Z.
As early as 1997, Egypt planned to develop its own satellite. However, due to technological barriers, this goal was never achieved. Nowadays, however, the failures that once haunted Professor Rafi are rapidly fading from view, overshadowed by the changes unfolding before him. Cui Yufu, the chief designer from the Chinese team for the MISASat-2 satellite, leads the Chinese testing team in close collaboration with Professor Rafi's team. The MISASat-2 satellite project consists of equal numbers of Chinese and Egyptian engineers at each position.
我们可以看到，埃方的工程师非常详尽地掌握了合作过程的所有的环节。当他们在总结的时候，从他们的脸上可以看到了自豪，看到了收获的满足感。
For Professor Rafi, this moment marks a dream come true. On December 4th, 2023, at 12:10 p.m., the MISASat-2 satellite, developed over 4 years, was successfully launched from the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center. This represents another landmark achievement in China-Egypt cooperation. It's also a milestone for Egypt, the first African country with full satellite assembly, integration, and testing capabilities. Today, as China steadily advances toward becoming a space power, it warmly invites institutions and scientists from developing countries, including those in Africa, to join in space research, collaboratively cultivate cutting-edge talent, and work together on The town of Carnarvon is located in the central Karoo Basin of northern Cape Province, South Africa.